Good day, classmate and mom. I am Angelica Espran, BS at Social Studies 3. I am your reporter for today. My topic is all about religions. Objectives: define religions, determine the universality of religions, identify the variation in religions and rituals, religion and adaptation. What is religion? When you hear religion, what comes in your mind? A religion is a system of beliefs, usually involving the worship of supernatural forces or beings. Religious beliefs provide shape and meaning to one's perception of the universe. In other words, they provide a sense of order and what might otherwise be seen as a chaotic existence. Religions also provide understanding and meaning for inexplicable events, such as loved one being killed in an earthquake or some other unpredictable force of nature. For most religious people, their beliefs about the supernatural are at the very core of their world views. Universality of religion. And universality of religion, there are 12 classical world religion, and those religions have history of world religions. Surveys and studied and world religions classes, which are the Baha'i, Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hinduism, Islam, Jainism, Judaism, Shinto, Taoism, and lastly, the Zoroastrianism. First is the Baha'u'llah declared that our true identities reside in our eternal souls. Baha'i teachings says that the sole purpose of every human soul is to have knowledge about God and to love Him. While the Christian Bible teaches that no human being is righteous and that we all fall short of God's glory. In Baha'u'llah, it is stated that our true identities reside in our eternal souls. Ipinapakita o tinuturo nito na magkaroon ng kaalaman tungkol sa Diyos. Tinuturo naman ng Christian Bible na walang taong matuwid at lahat tayong mga tao ay nagkukulang sa Diyos. At its most basic, Christianity is the faith tradition that focuses on the figure of Jesus Christ. In this context, faith refers both to the believer's act of trust and to the content of their faith. As a tradition, Christianity is more than a system of religious belief. Sinasabi dito na ang Christianity ay nakatuon lamang kay Jesus. Sa madaling salita, ang Christianity ay higit pa sa isang sistemang relihiyosong paniniwala. The next is the Confucianism. Is an ancient Chinese belief system which focuses on the importance of personal ethics and morality. Confucianism is a philosophy and belief system from ancient China which laid the foundation for much of Chinese culture. Confucius was a philosopher and teacher who lived from 551 to 479 BCE. Sinasabi sa Confucianism na ito ay isang filosofiya and a system of social and ethical philosophy rather than a religion. In fact, Confucianism built on an ancient religious foundation to establish the social values and transcendent ideas of the traditional and cultured Chinese society. And Confucius was also a teacher and philosopher who lived from 551 to 479 BCE. The next is the Hinduism. Hinduism is the world's oldest religion according to many scholars with roots and customs dating back more than 4,000 years. Today, with about 900 million followers, Hinduism is the third largest religion behind Christianity and Islam. Roughly, 95% of the world's Hindus live in India. Hinduism is an old and major religion originating on the India subcontinent and comprising several and varied system of philosophy, belief, and rituals. It has about 900 million followers and a third largest religion, and 95% of global population of Hindus live in India. The religious obligations of all Muslims are summed up in the five pillars of Islam, which include belief in God and His Prophet and obligations of prayer, charity, pilgrimage, and fasting. The fundamental concept of Islam is the Sharia, its law, which embraces the total way of life commanded by God. Tumutukoy ang obligasyon pangrelihiyon ng lahat ng Muslim sa limang paniniwala. Ito kinabibilangan ng paniniwala sa Diyos, pati na rin sa kanilang propeta. And the obligations of prayer, the charity, the pilgrimage, and lastly, the fasting. Habang ang Sharia naman ay tumutukoy ito o sumasaklaw sa kabuuang paraan ng pamumuhay na inutos ng Diyos. The next is Hinduism. Is an ancient religion from India that teaches that the way to liberation and bliss is to live lives of harmlessness and renunciation. The three guiding principles of Hinduism, the three jewels, are right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. The supreme principle of high living is non-violence, the ahimsa. The Hinduism is a religion of self-help. There are no goods of spiritual beings that will help human beings. The three guiding principle of Hinduism is the three jewels are right beliefs, right knowledge, and right conduct. Next is the Judaism. It's the world's oldest monotheistic religion dating back nearly 4,000 years. Followers of Judaism believes in one God who revealed himself through ancient prophets. The history of Judaism is essential to understanding the Jewish faith, which has a rich heritage of law, culture, and tradition. The Judaism is the most important teaching of Judaism is that there is no God who wants people to do what is just and compassionate. Next is the Shinto. Shinto believes in the kami, a divine power that can be found in all things. Shinto is polytheistic in that it believes in many gods and animistic since it sees things like animals and natural objects as they test. Also, unlike many religions, there has been no push to convert others to Shinto. Shinto gods are called kami. Take note, the Shinto gods are called kami. Kami means a sacred power of force. It explains that they are sacred spirits which take the form of things and concepts important to life. The next is the Sikhs. Believe in one God who guides and protects them. They believe everyone is equal before God. Sikhs believe that your actions are important and you should lead a good life. Sikhs believe that there is only one God who created everything. And Sikhism is a way of life. And so, Sikh belief reflect their action on a daily basis. Next is the Taoism, also spelled Daoism. It's a religion and a philosophy from ancient China that has influenced folk and national belief. Taoism holds that human and animal should live in balance with the Tao or the universe. Taoists believe in spiritual immortality, where the spirit of the body joins the universe after death. The Tao Te Ching is a collection of poetry and sayings from around the third and that all living creatures, the third and fourth centuries BCE, that guides Taoist thought and actions. Taoism teaches that all living creatures ought to live in a state of harmony with the universe. Next is the Zoroastrians. Believe in one God called Ahura Mazda, meaning wise Lord. Zoroastrianism believe that there is one universal transcendent, all good and uncreated supreme creator, deity, and that is Ahura Mazda, meaning is wisdom. Next is the omniscient knows everything, is know everything, and monotheistic religions such as Sikhism and the Abrahamic religions. This is an attribute of God. Next is the omnipotent. Omnipotent, all powerful. Omnipotent is the quality of having unlimited power. Monotheistic religions generally attribute omnipotence only to the duty of their faith. Next, the omnipresent is everywhere. Is the property of being present anywhere and everywhere. The term omnipresent is most often used in a religious context as an attribute of a deity or supreme being. The creator of life. The creator of life, the source of all goodness, the source of all goodness and happiness. Variation and religions and rituals. Sa tutorial na ito, matututunan mong malaman ang mga relihiyosong pangkalahatan at mga paniniwala sa bawat relihiyong, lalong-lalo na sa mga maliliit na panlipunan na sumasaklaw sa pangangalugad ng Kristyanismo, Islam o iba pang pangunahing relihiyon ng saklaw sa tutorial na ito. Religion is also a belief in God. In other words, religion is the human response to the appreciation of something of power which is supernatural and super sensory. It is the expression of the manner and type of adjustment effected by the people with their conception of the supernatural. Common elements of religion. One of the hallmark of religion is a belief in supernatural beings and forces. They can take a variety of forms, not all of which are found in every religion. The belief usually fall into one of 5 categories: the animism, ancestral spirits, gods or goddess, and minor supernatural beings. Ang religious ritual, ang mga paniniwala ay karaniwang nahati sa isa sa 5 kategoryang ito ay ang animism, ancestral spirit, Diyos o Diyosan, at minor na supernatural na nilalang. Ito ay 5 elemento na kung saan tumatalakay sa tanda ng relihiyon at paniniwala. Sakit ang lalamunan ko. Rituals and religion. The performance of rituals is an integral part of all religions. Rituals are stylized and usually repetitive acts that take place at a set times and location. They almost always involve the use of symbolic objects, words, and actions. For example, going to church on Sunday is a common religious ritual for Christians around the world. Um, for example, sa sentro, kapag Sunday, paghapon, kada ko ning nagduduman para magsimba. Meron din kapag Friday sa hinulid. Yan. It usually requires the wearing of somewhat different clothing and interacting with others and a particular manner in a sacred location. At the heart of this experience is a sequence of traditional ritual acts that symbolically represent aspects of the life teachings and death of Jesus. Sinasabi na ang isang ritual ay isa sa mga sagradong gawain at pinahusay para sa mga taong nananampalataya. Ang isang ritual ay ginaganap sa mga special na lugar at kondisyon. Maaari din itong ginaganap sa pagitan ng sekular at sagradong templo. Most religions rituals are performed in special places and under special conditions such as in a dedicated temple or at sacred spot. This is an intentional separation between the secular and the sacred. By being removed from the ordinary world, the sacred acts are enhanced for the believers. The separation makes the ritual more effective, only allowing initiated people to participate in religious rituals are also can have the same effect. Ang isang ritual din ay nagpapatibay sa pangunahing prinsipyo ng relihiyon. Halimbawa, ang pagsalo ng pulong sa mesa ng Katoliko ay isang simbolikong pakikilahok sa huling hapunan ni Jesus. At sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalawig, isang pagpapatibay ng pagtanggap sa kanya mga turo. Ang mataas na damdaming naranasan ng mga tao sa panahon ng mga ritual ay magbibigay ng positibong pampalakas para sa pagpapatuloy ng mga ito. Religious ritual reinforce the basic tenets of religion. For instance, the partaking of the host and the Catholic Mass is a symbolic participation in the Last Supper of Jesus, and by extension, an affirmation of the acceptance of his teachings. Rituals are often charged with high emotion. The exalted feelings people experiencing during rituals provide positive reinforcement for continuing them. When rituals make people feel good, they reinforce the belief that their religion is the correct one. Ayun na nga. Yun na nga yun, ang isang ritual ay halimbawa ang pagsalo ng punong abala sa mesa ng Katoliko ay isang simbolikong pakikilok sa huling hapunan ni Jesus at sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalawig, isang pagpapatibay ng pagtanggap sa kanyang mga turo. Next is the non-religious rituals. Non-religious rituals. Not all rituals are religions. Brushing your teeth every morning in the same place and in the same way is a non-religious ritual. Like religious rituals, it also can make you feel good, which reinforce your continuance of the practice. However, it rarely involves a belief in supernatural being or forces. Not all rituals are religious. It is stated that it is not aligned to any religion. The purpose is to prepare adolescents for their life as adults. For example, brushing teeth every morning, it is a way called non-religious rituals. Political ideologies and movements often have rituals that can be profoundly important for people, especially when they become the focus of nationalism. communism and extreme nationalist movements over the last century essentially became secular. Religions in some countries they had their rituals, essentially sacred objects and beliefs that provided meaning and order for millions of people. Um, pati na rin sa pampolitika ay kadalasang may mga ritual na maaaring mahalaga para sa mga tao, lalo na kapag sila ay naging focus ng nasyonalismo. Ito ay nagbibigay sa kanila ng paniniwala upang magkaroon ng kaayusan ang mga tao. Even in democratic nations that are more international in their focus, there are often symbolic political objects and rituals connected with them. An example in the United States is the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag in schools and at public meetings. The flag takes a powerful meaning for which people have given up their lives despite the fact that it is only a piece of cloth with different versions dyed red, white, or blue. Ipinapakita din sa demokratikong ideolohiya na may simbolikong pampolitikong bagay na konektado sa kanila. Halimbawa na lang nito, ang kanilang watawat, sagisag ito ng pangako at katapatan sa bandila ng Amerika. Sinasabi na ito ay isang kahulugan kung saan ang mga tao ay nagbibigay ng kanilang buhay kahit ito lamang ay isang pirasong tela. Next is the psychological and social function of religions. Religions fulfill psychological needs. They help us confront and explain death. They help relieve our fears, and anxieties about the unknown. Supernatural powers and beings may be appealed to or manipulated by people in times of crisis. As for example, in praying to win a battle or survive a fierce storm, religions help ease the stress during personal life crises such as birth, marriage, serious illness, and death. Psychological and social functions of religion try to understand the cause and effect relation of religious experience and religious consciousness so as to be able to predict behaviors. It aims to study the religious consciousness with investigation and religious behavior patterns. Psychologically, religion helps people answer the big existential questions. Why do we die and suffer and help people cope with uncertainty? Religion provides a clear-cut way to deal with the unknown. It is not a coincidence that in most societies, the rites of passage that are performed to help people adjust to these often highly emotional transitions are strongly religious. We also get psychological relief from divinely given moral codes. They lift some of the burden of decisions making from our shoulders in difficult situation because they tell us what is right and wrong. Knowing what to do without having to think deeply about it provides tremendous psychological relief. Nakakakuha tayo ng kaluwagan mula sa moral codes. Inaalis nila ang ating mabibigat na pasanin sa paggawa ng may hirap na desisyon dahil sinasabi nila sa ating kung ano ang tama at mali. Religions also fulfill social needs. They can be powerful dynamic forces in society. By reinforcing groups' norms, they help bring about social homogeneity. They can provide a basis for common purpose and values that can help maintain social solidarity. Uniformity of beliefs helps bind people together and reinforce group identity. It provides social cohesion to help maintain social solidarity through shared rituals and beliefs, social control to enforce religious based morals and norms to help maintain conformity and control in society. In most societies, religions play an important role in social control by defining what is right and wrong behavior. If individuals do the right things in life, they may earn the approval of the gods. If they do if they do the wrong things, they may suffer supernatural retribution. For instance, the most sacred text of Islam, the Quran, not only provides detailed list of specific kinds of crimes and appropriate earthly punishments, but it also gives descriptions of how to do mundane tasks such as eating specific kinds of food. Sinasabi dito na sa bawat relihiyon ay may mga mahalagang papel sa lipunan, katulad na lamang ng ang mga bagay na pagtukoy sa kung ano ang tama at hindi tamang pag-uugali. Sa sagradong teksto ng Quran, may kaakibat na parusa ang sinumang lalabag nito. The sacred text of religions usually set precedents for proper behavior in common situation. The Judo-Christian Bible stories of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Noah, Job, Moses, Solomon, and even Jesus provide examples of how virtuous people should lead their lives. It does not matter whether the sacred stories or myths of a religion actually occurred in every detail, they are still illustrative of correct thought and behavior. Ipinapakita dito ang mga sitwasyon na kung saan ang Judo-Christian na sina Moises, Eva at Adan at iba pa ay nagbibigay ng halimbawa kung saan na dapat pamunuan ang kanilang mga banal, ang kanilang buhay na kung saan sila ay nagpapakita ng tamang pag-iisip at pag-uugali. Next is the religion and adaptation. Lastly, how is religion an adaptation? If religion is adaptive, the beliefs, perceptions, and symbols created by religion must increase human survival and reproduction in some way other than providing useful images of the environment. The impact of religious communication on survival is probably through its effect on social organization. Is religion an evolutionary adaptation? Religion's concepts are not involved biological adaptations, but rather byproduct of more general cognitive structures that are adaptations. Religious people talk about things that cannot be seen, stories that cannot be verified, and beings and forces beyond the ordinary perhaps. Their gods are truly at work, or perhaps in human nature there is an impulse to proclaim religious knowledge. If so, it would have to have arisen by natural selection. Ang mga taong relihiyon ay tungkol sa mga bagay-bagay na hindi nakikita bagkus marahil ang kanilang Diyos ay tunay na kumikilos kung kaya't sa kalikasan ng tao ay nagsasabi na o naghahayag ng kanilang kaalaman tungkol sa relihiyon. It is hard to imagine how natural selection could have produced such an impulse. There is a debate among evolutionary scientists about whether or not there is any adaptive advantage to religion at all. Valvolia, 2004, Atran and Norisayan, 2004. Some believe that it has no adaptive value itself, and that it is just a hodgepodge of behaviors that have evolved because they are adaptive in other non-religious contexts. Um, Sinasa dito na mayroong pinagdibatehan ang mga evolutionary scientists tungkol sa kung meron o walang adaptive advantage sa relihiyon. May ilan ang naniniwala na ito ay walang adapted value at ito lamang ay tumutukoy sa hodgepodge na pag-uugali. The agent-based simulation described in this article shows that a central and unifying feature of religion, a belief in an unverifiable world, could have evolved alongside of verifiable knowledge. The simulation makes use of an agent-based communication model with two types of information: verifiable information, real information about a real world, and unverifiable information, unreal information about an imaginary world. Ipinapakita dito na ang isang reliyon ay pinag-iisa. Sinadsaad dito na gumamit ng simulation ang modelo ng komunikasyon na nakabatay sa dalawang informasyon, at ito ay ang na-verify na impormasyon na tumutukoy sa tunay na informasyon, at ang isa naman ay hindi na-verify na impormasyon na nagpapakita lamang ng haka-haka na walang batid na katotohanan. It examines the conditions necessary for the communication of unreal information to have evolved alongside the communication of real information. It offers support for the theory that religion is an adaptive, complex in its disputes the theory that religion is a byproduct of unrelated adaptive process. Sinasabi dito na kailangan suriin ang impormasyon upang malaman kung para sa teorya ay ang relihiyon ba ay isang adaptive complex o isang byproduct. That's all. Thank you po.